is broken, and nothing's going right.
Hello and welcome to Basement Fodder, the only show you're currently listening to, as I like to say. I'm Todd.
And I'm Dave.
And this is a very special edition of the show because we're starting on Dave's birthday because it's about 10 till midnight on the 11th, and then we'll be going into my birthday. So it's a dual birthday edition of the Basement Fodder podcast.
Though we're not drunk.
We're not drunk now. We were yesterday a little bit, I would say. But also, like, we've been sitting down here for the last hour or so discussing all kinds of plans for stuff we're going to do in the basement, which is cool. But it was a good birthday. You think it was a good birthday? It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're 36 now.
Yep.
And I will be 40 in 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's definitely not that when we were still in our 20s, early 30s birthdays where we had Fishnigget and stuff, but it's definitely one of those it was fun. And we did stuff that we enjoyed, but it wasn't to that level where I was afterwards I was so destroyed, I woke up pretty good this morning. It was cool, I got to sleep in and I felt good. Wasn't hungover. Didn't feel obliterated because we didn't, do too much necessarily. So, yeah, other than that, it was pretty good.
I think so, too. We actually did our gift exchange last week.
Yeah.
Because neither one of us are one to sit on a fucking gift once it comes. And
yeah,
we're ready. Actually, you still have one will be your Thursday.
Okay.
That's your other gift.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
I'll probably tell you what it is later.
If it takes too long, it's you're killing me.
I'll tell you what it is. I don't fucking care.
You're fucking killing it, goddamn.
But Dave got me the Eagle Moss DS9 for my Star Trek shelf. It's big ass die cast Deep Space Nine space station.
It was too awesome.
So fucking cool.
Yeah.
And the mud crab from Fallout for my Fallout shelf.
The Mirelurk.
The Mirelurk. I always call them mud crabs because I think of Skyrim.
Skyrim and stuff. They basically are just sentient mud crabs.
Yeah, basically. They're just mutated, fucked up, sentient mud crabs, basically.
Same level of aggression.
Ariel got me some awesome Star Trek socks.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What was the other thing? Oh, she got me the con-exclusive Red She-Hulk pop.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I was excited about that. I've actually been watching multiple ones on eBay for months now, trying to get a good price on it. Because it's a little bit pricier because it's a con-exclusive one. Yeah. And I don't really collect expensive pops at all. I take my pops out of the package, but this one came in a protector, so I'm just going to leave it in there.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice one that's cool. So I was jazzed about that. And then you got, I got you the custom Ben Reilly.
Yep, sleeveless hoodie.
The sleeveless hoodie, because that's your favorite Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, that's, I don't care what anybody says, Ben Reilly to me is the best Spider-Man that there is. Scarlet Spider is awesome. He had the coolest costume, the OG Scarlet Spider. He was the best. I loved him.
Yeah.
So for me, that was awesome. I was definitely running around wearing that. As soon as you got it, gave it to me, I wore it for the rest of the night. I was just yep, sweet. Ariel got me this Cerberus-headed hellhound figurine from.
It's Schleich or something.
Yeah, Schlecken. One of those German ones where it's there's no mobility in it. It's just a solid lead, but it's a really nice detailed figure.
I've got a Frost Giant from that series.
Yeah, I've got a few different things and stuff that are really awesome.
They do some really cool dragons and stuff in that series. Yeah, I like those really. Those are super, super cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
I'll just tell you, your other gift that it's on Thursday, it's a Skyrim, it's a moon with a dragon in it shirt.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I gotta go through a lot of my fucking clothes.
I bagged up 2 giant trash bags full of shirts because I have so many fucking shirts. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's now I'm not a medium anymore. From when I was younger, so it's a bunch of my clothes at my mom's house, and even some of the ones I have that I need to go through. I'm yeah, I can't wear this. Like, it won't fit. Like,
There's a couple of shirts that I kind of threw to the side because I just can't bear to get rid of them.
Oh, yeah,
and
no, I have a few.
I think I'm gonna go get a poster frames for them and just sort of like wrap it,
Yeah.
and make it a wall art
wall thing,
basically.
yeah.
Because my original black Superman shirt, I've had that for so many years,
Yeah.
and I just can't bear to part with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's all ripped up and
I
fucked
actually
up and
thought
shit,
about,
but-
like, depending on...
or making a pillow or something. That
would
cool.
actually be cool. You could do that. I thought because mine are all smaller, and a lot of mine are like the chest kind of like the designs right there. What I thought would be cool is I want to get almost like one of the cork board kind of things, and I was going to cut out the actual fabric of the design and just basically do a collage of all my favorite like
that'd be
design
really cool.
ones on cork board, so that way it's just...
They'd love that
know.
on Pinterest.
I know that. I do have a Pinterest account, so I can put it on there if I wanted to.
I do not have a Pinterest thing. I've looked at some stuff on there.
I have a lot of...
Ariel shows me a lot of shit from it, but
Yeah.
like, it's not my thing.
It actually is more your thing than you think it is, because like you just see it from the perspective of like the female version of Pinteresting, which is great, and that's awesome.
I'm not
and
interested
stuff.
in charcuterie boards and
Yeah,
shit.
like
Like,
that shit. Mine are all like, I've got a board for like tattoos, one for like custom figures like that I've seen, one for like comic art, a shit ton for like ideas for like gaming and different
Right,
things
right.
like that. There's a shit ton of that stuff on there. Like, and then I have a couple that are all like Halloween, like hack ideas for like if you want to make your house like a haunted house or like quick little cool things. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff in there.
I may have to actually look at it again.
Like, it's worth, like, you just have to kind of, it's like one of the things like with a Pandora or something, you have to get it programmed to what you like.
I swear to
God,
God,
it
it never
shows.
fails. The second we start recording, people start fucking messaging me.
Oh yeah, baby, because it's like, is it time? Is it
time?
It's like 3 minutes before your birthday, so they're probably all doing the preemptive happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Ariel messaging me from bed like, I don't want to go to sleep. I'm like, I'm not right now.
I can always
Tell me later.
Yeah, I can always tell like the people when they do the happy birthdays, because it's like the real friends, like, no, I don't want to say real friends, but like the ones I'll get,
beyond
like,
Facebook level friends. Like.
yeah, I get like the ones where it's like a little bit before, a little bit after midnight and stuff like that. Maybe some like early in the morning. I can tell everybody else who just woke up and their Facebook reminded them it was my birthday because I get it midday, like 50 new people just said happy birthday, and I was like, "Yep, you're all the ones that Facebook was like, don't forget this fucker you're friends with. It's their birthday."
Facebook is the greatest thing in the world when it comes to remembering dates because I can't remember
I
dates
can't.
for shit.
Shit, yeah.
And so it's like, reminder, it's this person's birthday. I'm like, good, because I wouldn't have fucking remembered that. Like,
Yep, not at fucking all.
I'm 40 years old. I don't even, like, I struggle to remember when my mom's birthday is. Like, it's in March.
I get lucky with certain birthdays because it's like I can remember my mom's because now, like, for two reasons. Because, like, usually it's the first day of spring, but also because my daughter's birthday is the same day. So it's like 2 for 1. Those are easy. Yours, because it's right next to mine.
Right.
And anybody who's within a week of mine, I can usually remember. But once it starts getting further out, like, I can remember my sister's. My dad's a piece of shit, so I don't remember his. No, I used to get really upset, too, because I talked about this with my sister, because those assholes would go see Barnum and Bailey when I was visiting my mom. So every year for his birthday, they would go to the one circus I've always wanted to go to and never got to. And then they'd be like, oh, we got all this cool stuff from the circus.
We went backstage. We got to hang out with the
I'm like, you go fuck yourself, sir. Like, Jesus Christ. I wanted to go
tightrope, like, fuck you.
I wanted to go to this circus for all my goddamn life and never got taken to it. And you assholes are just like, every year, like, oh, we went to it. And I'm like, yeah, fuck off, man.
Shove that right. I only remember my sister's because when she was little, she used to run around telling everybody when her birthday is. Like, it's March 20th. It's March 20th. That's March 20th. Like, my whole fucking time. I'm like, all right, you pounded it into my skull. I remember. And my dad's is the same week as Logan's.
Yeah.
So I can remember that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know the day exactly, but I know it's like right in the same
Right,
week.
the same, like, yep. All right.
And it's like everybody else, like my grandma's, I remember because it's like right around Thanksgiving. Half the time it falls on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
like,
so it's like
I think it's like the 26th of November. Other people like Ariel's, I know because like I have to pick up her prescriptions all the time, so then they make you verify it.
Oh yeah, you're like that's burned in my fucking brain.
And hers is also like a week or two after Logan's too, so it's like easier to remember
in conjunction and stuff.
But fuck, I was friends with Scott for 20 years and I have no fucking clue. Like I'm like maybe it's in May. I'm not really fucking sure to be perfectly honest with you. Like I have no clue. Yep. Like I used to remember CJ's because it's like right around Halloween.
Yeah.
But like other people,
you'll
like,
get lucky. Okay,
no
so like mine and a bunch of people I know is in October.
Yeah.
So if yours is in September or November, you're pretty safe. I'll probably remember it because it's within a month gap. But if you're any further out than that and you're not family, fuck off. I'm not gonna remember it. You forgot my birthday. I barely remember my street address sometimes. Why the fuck do you think I'm going to remember one random ass goddamn day for a person that, like, I have explicitly put under the acquaintance list on my Facebook? Like, sorry.
I'm not good with dates.
No.
I can barely remember what I did, like, the day previously. I can't remember some random fucking grabastic date that is of some level of fucking importance.
Oh, I guess we should probably tell them what we did for our birthday.
Yeah, we always try to do some sort of blowout if we can, because like we got our mutual birthday last year. We were sicker than shit. The whole house was just plague bearing, and I think we ended up going to Woody's, like me, you, and Ariel. That was it.
Yeah,
just to get dinner because we felt like human enough to leave the house.
I was just like, I just want to eat something. I've literally like shit or puked or fucking coughed up everything in my body. I need to eat something.
But like, I don't know what the other stuff we've done. We did the glow in the dark mini golf one year. That was cool.
Was disappointing.
I liked it.
It was fun, but it was not as fun as I had hoped it would be because it was not like. Mini golf is always fun. Glow in the dark is always fun. But this one was like a half-assed like glow thing, and it was like that. Like you could tell they needed to re-up on the glow paint because like it was like, really like, but that benign glow. We were like, this thing has been here for probably 10 or so years, and it's like I've about glowed the fuck out. Like,
I remember when we were talking about it, like before COVID got belligerent. Like we talked about doing Scene 75 and stuff, but like
I still want to do it.
I still want to go, but just like now is just not the time that I want to go to a place where a bunch of people are touching shit, and I don't fucking trust kids anyway.
Nope.
But
because they don't have to wear masks.
It just kind of serendipitously happened. Like the Renaissance Fair itself got canceled.
Yeah.
But then a couple weeks ago, they announced that they were doing this like magical nights.
Yeah, it was
like a miniature, like weekend only,
one day,
capped at 1,500 people. And you had to pre-buy tickets in advance, and it's actually cool because it was like $10 a person and free parking, which usually you have to pay like $4 to park or whatever.
Which I forgot about. I got money out, and I was like, God damn it.
We got there, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have any cash.
Yeah, I was like, shit, I gotta pay these. There's not even a fucker out here. What the shit's going on here?
Hallelujah, no pay to parking. But, so we ended up buying tickets online for that a couple of weeks ago, and it was me and Ariel and you and your girlfriend Alicia and Renee, and our Phil. Friend, and our friend Phil from our gaming group.
Yep.
And like we all dressed up a little bit, like some of us more than others. Like Phil and Renee were like full on.
Yeah,
I was just like the level of dressed up that I always am. Like I got a peasant shirt and a mask. Like.
Yeah, I got dressed up, but not as much as I normally would because like they were like, oh, it's gonna be in the mid to high 70s, and I was like, I'm not I LARP. And I do like stuff like that, and I'm like, I know what it's like to wear all this shit in a hot ass goddamn day. I don't want to do that.
I'm not wearing full fucking leather armor.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass the fuck out.
Because last year when we went, like one day it was like 90 degrees, and I literally fucking lost like 10 pounds of water weight sweating in that fucking.
So I dressed as in like flowy garb, wizard. But apparently, my hat was really popular because, like,
oh man, that hat
Alicia was saying that, like, everyone from the moment I walked in was like pointing at my hat. I was like, I did not see any of these people. She's like, oh, they were all around, like.
They only had like part of the grounds open, like they roped
like
off like a good giant point, and there was like scattered vendors. Like there was a decent amount of.
I would say there was probably about 50 shops open,
if that. Like
I mean, in total, including the
like
pop-up
food and
tents
everything.
And stuff.
But I don't know. We all drove out, kind of separately and shit, and we did the thing, walked around, got food, and like it was cool because like usually they close it at like I think 6.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 6. This time
But
it
this was
2
like
to
2
10.
to 10, so you get to be there after dark and when things are lit up and stuff, and it was actually really fucking cool
Yeah.
in that respect. But
I actually would like hope that maybe they do this every season now, like once or twice. Do a like where it's open later, because seeing the Red Fair at night with the way they lit it up
was really cool.
Was really cool, and
Yeah.
it was it was really nice, and I think it would go over, or like do like an adults thing where you can be there. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, like, I don't sound like a dick or anything, but, like...
that one screaming kid?
No, if you bring babies and tiny, tiny stroller-sized children to this fucking thing, you're a moron. Like, I'm sorry. They're not gonna get anything from it, first of all. You're just gonna be lugging them around all day.
Screaming
and, like,
big children.
being a parent, I can safely fucking say I've drugged my child through shit that you probably shouldn't. And, like, sometimes you just have to. You can't get a fucking babysitter. I get it. But it's the same concept of these fucking people that bring babies to the movies and shit. Like, I'm sorry, if you bring babies to the movies, I hate you. I really do. Because, first of all, it's really fucking loud, it's dark, and they don't like that shit.
Dude, okay, so, like, I keep forgetting, like, how small the area was, but even the small area wasn't that small. I don't know if this family, just because they realized how annoying their child was, decided to follow me with their screaming child, but it was like this child was constantly like having fucking fits and shit like that, and I'm like, hey, he's wearing a kilt, so that's easy, accessible ass slap area. So like, but no, like the kid was constantly getting lifted up by the arm and dragged, and I was like, the only time you should lift that child up by his arm is to just waylay his ass. But they wouldn't do this, and I was like, God, please make your child shut the fuck up and shit.
Pissing out my good time.
Yeah, I was like, Screamy McFuckerson here needs to shut up. Like,
Oh, it's officially my birthday.
happy
Actually, it's
birthday.
6 minutes into it. But
All right. Well, officially, end of Dave birthday, beginning of Todd birthday.
fucking 40 now.
40.
I feel like I'm 140.
Yeah.
Listen to my knee. They sound like it.
It's all downhill from here now. Like,
fuck, I'm
over the hill,
serious.
kind of whatever.
I-
But 40 is the new 30.
No,
remember?
uncharacteristically of me, I will say, like, I, at 40, am in a better place in my life than I've ever been.
When you were 30?
Yeah, no, when I was,
Oh, yeah.
like, I was looking back at, like, past memories of
Yeah.
birthdays and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't change a thing
I'm
when it comes to,
definitely,
like, where we
definitely
are right now.
at a better place at 30 than I was definitely than I was when I was 20.
Yeah, oh
you know?
God, yeah.
So, definitely happy about that.
But you're at the age now, like, 36 is when, like, everything changed for me, because that's the year that, my ex and I split, and
Yeah.
we moved and everything, so, like, 4 years out from 40, like, it's been 4 years now, and, like,
Yeah.
where we are now as opposed to then is so drastically fucking different.
Oh yeah, so different. Like,
In the best possible way.
oh yeah, like growing up in ways that we needed to, but
God, yeah.
still staying young in the other ways.
Yeah.
As always. But
We are the sum of our experiences, and, like, the bad shit and the good shit all just sort of goes together
yeah,
to make the person that you end up being, so...
yeah.
And my birthday depression, it hits every year, like, and I
Mine hit kind of bad this year too,
Yeah.
because I was like 36, and I was like, it's really an arbitrary number, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like I've now passed 35, so it's like now I'm in my late 30s,
Yeah,
going
as
towards
opposed to
40
your
and
mid
stuff.
or
Yeah,
early,
mid or any of
like-
that crap. Like some people are like, no, you're still in your mid, and I'm like, yeah,
right past the mid.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you can say that, but it still feels like
I'm now closer to 40 than 30.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm
yeah.
like, so suck a dick. You know,
It's the
kind of
oldest
one
I've
of
ever
those
been.
things. Yeah, like, you motherfuckers. So it's kind of one of those things, and then you kind of like you do that, like where you take stock of your life and where you're going, and like not necessarily like if you're there now, but are like, do you even know where you're going? And you're like doing that shit. That's like,
Yeah.
you know, so that stuff all happened.
I think that actually helped me with my birthday depression, like the taking stock thing, because,
Yeah.
like, I look at where we are now, and it's better than it was.
Yeah, like it's gone better elevation and
Like,
stuff
I was thinking
like
about
that.
the other day, like, November the 6th will be our 7-year anniversary doing the show.
Yeah.
Like, our first show is posted November 6th, 2013. And now
Oh,
this
man.
is episode 184, I think, that
Yeah.
we're doing now, something like that.
Yeah.
Which we should be way past that, but God knows our lives were fucked up for the last 4 years. Like,
But
we're
the
lucky
fact that we're
getting
still
there,
even
yeah.
doing it, yeah. So like,
But I look at where I was before we started doing this, like, and I made a post about it at the time. Like, it's just
yeah,
like before we started doing the show, I hadn't worked in a long time because I was staying home, being a dad, and
Yeah.
also had a lot of medical shit going on, and I was severely fucking depressed. Like, in all honesty, like
I feel
suicidally depressed.
yeah.
at some
I feel
points,
like at this point in my life, I was very like, I wasn't like Ren Fair Carney level of transient, but I was still very like seat of my pants, kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'll go here, do that, do this and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I really had no direction as to what I was gonna do.
No, and I didn't either.
stuff.
Like, I was just, I sat in my
Yeah.
basement alone.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yep.
Like, I surrounded myself with toys, and I ignored the world pretty
Yeah.
much. But then once we started to do this, like, started going to cons, started doing shows and stuff, like, it
Yeah.
really just changed me fundamentally as a person, because, like,
Yeah.
I was so afraid of the world back then. Like, I feel like I was, like, one step above being, like, a complete shut-in. Because,
yeah,
I
probably.
didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go anywhere or whatever. I didn't have
Like, I
a
was
friend
saying.
circle. I literally had, like, 3 friends.
yeah,
And now it's like, 7 years later, I'm looking at it, it's like we've got a lot of friends. We do things all the time. Like,
Yeah.
COVID has put a dent in, like, the ability to go to shows and stuff, but, like, all the people that we've met and the projects that we've got to be involved in, and, like, getting to write forwards for books that we love, getting to review stuff, getting to be recognized and stuff for, like, the things that we do. Like, that's the legacy that we're leaving behind. Like,
Yeah.
hundreds of hours of audio, multiple different shows that we do. Like, that's... It really, like, podcasting in a lot of ways saved my life and
Yeah.
helped me become a better person.
yeah. It was definitely like I said, when we came up with the idea for it and stuff, I could definitely tell it was something that like I had thought about. Like I had heard about it, and I thought it was an interesting concept and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like when I heard the tape from your
Son of a bitch.
yeah,
I mentioned that.
So
Go ahead.
one of the births of the show is actually based around a tape of a very, 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 very young Todd who who had an aspiration to be basically Casey Kasem and do like the DJ on the air.
I did. I thought when I was younger, I really kind of had aspirations to be like an oldies rock DJ, basically.
Yeah, something of that nature. And he let me listen to this whole tape, and like it was awesome because it was very nostalgic. You could like hear it and stuff, but like you could hear how excited he was doing it as a kid, and then how excited on his face listening to it as like an adult and stuff like that. And I was like, at this point, I had heard about like the podcasting and different things like that, and I was like, well, this is something we could. It wouldn't take much to do,
Right,
like
yeah.
not like video stuff. It's like. One, I'm not really a huge fan of being on camera.
You're
At
right,
least
right.
not like that. And then two, man, the video equipment. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Getting good podcasting equipment can cost you, but like good video equipment is,
Especially back then.
yeah,
Like 7 years ago, like so much has changed digitally and shit. Like
Yeah.
the stuff that you can get now, the pricing is so much better on like cameras and all that stuff, even like mics and stuff now. But like hell, I remember like getting the cheapest microphone we could find, like a fucking basically a karaoke microphone, and like jury rigging a stand
Yep.
from an old PC mic stand that I had
Yeah.
like from gaming and shit, and like electrical taping it to it. So
Yeah,
it
I'm just like-
and then me and you like with our knees touching around
yeah,
my,
like intertwined.
around my
kinda.
fucking customizing desk and
Yeah.
shit on my shitty ass old laptop.
Oh yeah,
Like, I actually was going through and uploading and, like, cleaning up files, and I listened to part of the very first shows that we did, and the audio quality is just so awful.
yeah.
But it's like, I mean, we're still doing the same thing now that we were
Oh,
doing
yeah.
then, but just at another level.
Yeah.
Like,
God, we did a bunch of drunk shows too.
Oh God, we used to do so many.
But like drunk shows butted up against each other, like just ass drunk leaning on each other, like hovering over a mic, like we're drunk and we're making a show and like in a basement.
I listened to that first Christmas show a little bit, just like
yeah,
10 or 15 minutes of it, and I was like, oh man.
We were fucking schmammered.
And this is like, I had no idea. Like, I mean, we had no idea. We were just basically like, we don't care. Like, it's just something like as an outlet to talk and whatever. But I remember being like jazzed that we had like 5 people listening and shit.
Yeah, when you started checking, you were like, what was that one random country that you were like, we have somebody who listens to our show in like Guam or some shit.
It was like Romania or something.
Yeah.
I was then like 7 years later, you know, we've got listeners in somewhere between 17 and 20 countries, and we've done hundreds and hundreds of hours of audio.
I want to know if we actually have a listener in Guam. If we do,
probably do.
Cool. Yeah, Guam.
One holdout basement Fodder fan out in Guam there just Guamming it up. I don't know.
I was like, how did you hear about the show? And I love you for listening. Yeah, go Guam.
One of the funniest things ever is like I think about like how we expanded viewership or listenership, and one of the funniest things ever is like the thing that expanded us out into other countries was the thing we got the most shit for doing at the time, which was the first Sexapalooza that we did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's when we started picking up international audience, because the Sexapalooza folks shared the episode out on their website.
Yeah, and they're
an international
Canadian.
company. They're like Canadian, and they do shows in Europe and shit. Mm-hmm. And that we picked up, like, we went from like everything was in the States to like a bunch of different countries. Yeah, picking up shit. And the great thing is they listened to that show and just kept listening.
Yeah,
and we got so much hell from different sources for doing like fucking the Sexapalooza shows and the Triple X Con or whatever that we did and stuff. It was just so much like idiotic hatred and shit. Like, oh, I can't believe that you would lower yourself to this base pornography shit. And I'm like, have you never listened to? I was like, have you listened to any of our drunk shows? Like,
Jesus Christ! If you listen to one of our drunk shows, you would automatically know it wasn't like we lowered ourselves. It was like we actually kind of like had to get really nicely upped just to go to these places.
Fuck! If you look back at the pictures, like I was looking at the old pictures. If you look back at the pictures of that first Sexapalooza show, like we were like dressed nice.
Yeah,
like,
we were fucking
like,
jazzy. Like
put effort into it.
You know, like hey. They gave us free tickets and like shit. We gotta do this right, you know. Like,
and those people that ran those shows were the coolest fucking people ever. Yes. Man, they were like all about cross promotion. Yeah. They gave us free tickets to give away. Like they couldn't have been cooler.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that like this many years later, I look back and like that was one of the biggest catalysts of expanding listenership was doing a fucking porn con, basically, like or a sex toy show.
Yeah.
Like
between that and like Vic and our other friends, basically. Which shout out to the original Basement Babe.
Yeah, she's in the hospital now. She's being induced tomorrow, so her new crotch mongrel will share a birthday with me.
Yep,
so.
There you go. Be a little girl.
Yeah, she's gonna have a little girl. That's her second one.
Yeah. But so shout outs to her on that one.
She was our very first fan, man.
Yeah, dude,
she was our strongest proponent.
Oh my god! Like. Sometimes, you know, we all get that, you know, I'll go talk to random people sometimes, especially at a con and stuff. She had, like, no problem walking up to people and, like, here's a card, listen to the show. Here's a card, listen to the show. Here's a card, listen to the show. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, like, it took me the longest time to get over my social anxiety and, like, be able to go and talk to people at shit. And it's still, sometimes it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
But, like...
We talked about it the other day. We'd still love to, like...
Yeah,
have you meet Will Wheaton and tell him the story
actually
about
meet Will Wheaton.
Yeah, actually meet Will Wheaton and then tell him the story about how you almost met Will Wheaton, but then you like fucking freaked out. I was just
way too socially anxious at that point to do it.
Done.
Man, I grew up from 7 years old from the first watching Next Generation. Like that was my childhood, man.
Yeah.
And we're not that far apart in age. Like he's only a couple of years older than me.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not that much older.
And so, like, to think of somebody like I wasn't one of those people who hated Wesley Crusher. Like that was like me on the ship. Like when I was watching it as a kid, I'm like, that's me. That's my avatar.
Yeah,
like that's
he's my spirit animal.
Yeah, and like if you listen to the interviews like that Roddenberry did back in the day, like he said like straight up, to me the main character of the show is Wesley in those first couple of seasons, because it's seeing all this shit from a kid's perspective, basically.
Being on something of that capacity and shit. Like, I think a lot of the hate was because, one, his outfit wasn't that great. Like, but that was like all of their outfits, because man, that fucking first season or two with those like straight back suits, they were horrible. But I think a lot of it is just, and I know most of them won't admit it, but they were fucking jealous because they wanted to be Wesley Crusher. You know, they're like, hold on, John Luke could be my stepdad soon,
right?
And I get to like hang out with Will Riker and Worf and all these people, and I'm fucking, a kid on the Enterprise. Like, come the fuck on. And I was like, yeah, most of you motherfuckers were just, shitty and jealous. And shit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like,
it's like the Stand By Me kid.
All the cool people we've got to meet. Like the biggest thing for me, like when we actually sat down here the other night and talked about it a lot. Like the biggest thing was just like the second that we started talking to the guys that make indie books and stuff, we just got pulled into the family. Mm-hmm. And it was like, it was never a thing. It was just like, nope, you're one of us now. Yep. And that is my favorite part of everything.
Oh, yeah.
To get to be in part of the indie community and stuff. And like, for me to discover, like, being a comic fan my whole life, and to discover, like, this is what my real comic passion was.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up on mainstream stuff, and I never really read anything independent other than, like, Poison Elves, because I had a friend who was really into that. But, like, getting to realize, like, man, there's this awesome, passionate community of people that
subculture of just people that make what they want to make and don't have to necessarily get shit on by like the fucking execs and stuff, which was really cool.
And getting to meet celebrities and stuff, and getting to interview people. Like Ariel and I were lucky enough when we went to Chicago to get to interview Twisted and stuff. That was really fucking cool. For me, like, as a kid growing up, a big Green Lantern fan, like, to get to sit and hang out with Daryl Banks and talk to him about the fact I hated him.
Yeah, I was like, the fact that, like, and kind of then get the story behind it, and realize that you were like, oh, damn, like, you
didn't like what they had to do.
You weren't the person that I really hated. No. Actually, it was like, you got fucked on
the
this.
The editors in DC that I really hated.
Like, you got screwed on this just as bad as like the fans and stuff. Like, that was pretty shitty, Or in like my case, it was a good experience, but it was also a learning experience. Is like going to meet like a person that was your hero when you were younger, and then realizing like the character and the actor, two very different people and stuff like that. And you always like hope that your hero will be a good person as an actor, like person, but then sometimes that's not the case. And unfortunately, like in the meeting of one of mine, he wasn't as cool of a person. But then there was also a character that I liked.
Jason David Frank, he was a dickbag. I don't care. I'm not gonna lie. Like we've had some really great celebrity interactions.
But then I go meet like Austin St. John, and I did like Jason, from the Power Rangers. But then to meet him and like he was so much cooler than his character and stuff. Like his character was pretty cool, but like him as a person was so much more over like just an awesome person. That I was like, it makes you go back and actually re-look at the character, and you're like, I actually like the character more now.
It makes you like appreciate the fandom more. Like, there's been so many experiences like that. Like when I got to meet John Wesley Shipp at Lexington, like I grew up watching the Flash show. Like I grew up having him on my TV and stuff, and he's always been a guy that I've been a huge fan of. And then to meet him and find out that he's literally one of the nicest people that I've ever met, and like took time to talk to me, and like, and I was in tears in my eyes. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, you were my hero. Like, and he's like, I love to hear stuff like that. Or like,
supposedly he's coming back.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. Or like, Lexington in general is a big part of us.
Yeah.
Like that show.
Bulk and Skull meeting those two was probably way more impactful than I thought it would be, because like those guys' stories and like how they are with their fan base and everything like that.
Yeah, Paul Scheer and Jason Narvey are two of the nicest guys.
Like nicest,
And
funniest,
coolest,
interactive
yeah.
and stuff like that. I remember,
I'll
like
never
I still have
forget,
videos
yeah.
of you sword fighting.
I'll never forget, like, the very first time that we saw them at Lexington, the
Yeah.
first year we went.
We were standing in line for their panel, and they're
just sitting there
right at
eating in the food court, and they're like, "Hey, what are you guys standing in line for?"
Your
you?
show.
And they're like, "Oh shit, we better get there." Then.
All right, hurry up and finish your Subway.
Or when we paid to take the
pictures
the
with
nice
them.
picture with them and stuff, and they were all fucking shit faced from the night before and like bleary eyed.
Yeah, and then
We've got to meet those guys. We got to hang out and talk to the guys from Comic Book Men. Like, I got
They're
to
really
in
cool.
Michigan. I got to get drunk with Ming Chen, like and shit. Like
those guys are really
fucking
cool.
just all the Ernie Hudson, fucking Brian O'Halloran was just one of the coolest guys I've ever met. Like all these really, and I don't want to like sit here and fucking name drop or whatever, but like we've
Just a
been
lot of
lucky
guys
enough
and
to get
girls
to do
that,
that, and
like-
even comic creators like like with Ben Templesmith.
Yeah.
was one of your best interactions.
I love that he
ever.
actually remembers from
Yeah.
like
From years ago,
years
yeah.
ago, like meeting me
Mhm.
and doing the like thing because it was just I don't know. I guess it was just weird and kooky enough that he's like, yeah, I remember drawing like a face on some dude's elbow, like mouth,
Exactly,
and shit like
like,
that. And,
We've got
you know?
to chat with guys like Ben Templesmith, or like we got to talk to Mark Wade, like
Yeah,
people that like literally were comic heroes for
Yeah.
me. And then I mean, I'd say flip a coin, take a shot, or whatever. But Dirk, like Dirk Manning's one of our oldest friends in the business, and like he was instrumental
yeah,
as far as like getting us out there. We were barely into our first year
yeah.
when we met him and like
Yeah.
came to our house and like promoted, put our links in his books and shit. Like
Yeah.
a lot of these guys,
That Manning fan base really kind of
and
one of those
met so many
pivotal-
other people.
yeah.
Like we never would have met the guys from Digital Nerdage and Pat and Corey and those guys. Like if not for that, we wouldn't have found our network home. We wouldn't have met a lot of our friend Eric Pilecki, one of our best comic friends, like
Aaron
and Sarah from Roma Collectibles. Like there's so many wonderful people. Like
Yeah.
we never would have got to be in comics, like in the FSK universe and stuff, and get to meet all these people and talk to all these people. And me personally, like doing the Todd Files, getting to interview people and like understand the creative process more, because that's the shit that really trips my trigger.
or go to some very sketchy fucking cons. Oh my god, it will always be a fun learning experience, but Jesus Christ, like some of the ones that we've got fucking suckered
Stebbins
into.
Con.
Stebbins Con,
The Youngstown show,
Ice,
and it was all
Con on the Cob.
Con on the Cob. I look back at that now, and like by the end of it, it was really a great experience.
Yeah.
But
Man, talk about the switch and bait.
at the time,
The switch bait was so. Oh my god, Mandy Patinkin in a dress.
I have
like-
literally never been so fucking crestfallenly disappointed at
Oh,
something.
just like rage filled.
I remember like sitting in the hallway on the floor making video and like, just ranting.
Yeah.
And everybody around us like, oh. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. My
Like-
rage is great.
Like, man, I want to meet the guy who did like your website, because your web guy was fucking amazing. I got some property he could sell. Like,
Really?
holy
Fucking
shit!
sell
yeah.
Catch a Popsicle to a man in white gloves.
Yeah,
like.
this shit was fucking amazing. Like, he had us sold on this fucking thing, and then I get there and I'm like, okay.
It's just, it's like, I didn't necessarily mean for this to be like the world's biggest trip down memory lane,
Yeah.
but fuck it, like
I mean,
we're
it's the
already in
birthday
there.
episode, yeah.
Yeah,
Birthday
we're
episode.
feeling all nostalgic for birthday times and
Yeah.
stuff. But like seriously, like we've got to do panels. Ariel and I got to do Wizard World, like get invited to do panels at Wizard World,
Yeah.
and like getting to go to Chicago for fucking. The fuck is the name of the damn con?
C2E2?
Yeah, C2E2, which is literally the biggest con I've ever been to, and
Yep.
one of the biggest in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And like to get to hang out with the guys in Twisted and do interviews, to get to meet John Francis Daly. That was a big one for me. Like,
and then I got to go down to Dragon Con,
which is a huge show.
Fuck balls, that thing is huge. I've never been to a convention that needed like 4 fucking hotels, like 4 hotels, multi-floored. Like, I was not prepared. I was there for a couple hours, and like I literally like had to have a drink afterwards because I was not prepared for this. I was like, Sarah had tried to warn me about how big this thing was, but I felt like I just didn't take it truly to heart. And then I was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
you just think about it. Like, if time travel were possible, if you and I could go back to that basement 7 years ago, and tell the 7 years ago us that would get to do all this crazy shit and like still be doing this now, and be doing it better, than we ever have. Like, that'd be crazy. We would fucking slap ourselves in the face, like,
the fuck
like, fuck you, who the fuck are you? Why are you fatter? Jesus Christ. Actually, no, I'm less fat than I was.
I was about to say, you're less fat.
But no, it's...
I think the thing that both of them would look at us and be like, man, that's a lot more gray hair than I thought.
Especially me, shit.
Yeah, like, you gotta be like showing my younger self, be like, oh, it's coming. You lose it here.
Dad bod is coming, buddy.
Like, you're 36 and you're drinking Metamucil, goddammit. What the fuck?
Oh, man. Like, it's been a wild-ass ride in a lot of respects. Like, we've just been so lucky to get to be part of everything, and
I mean, it's just been fun, really. Like no matter what, whether good or bad or not, it's probably just been fun, being able to do the stuff, go to all the conventions, record all the shows, do all that shit. Like,
who knew in 2009 when we went to see fucking X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Oh my god,
that we'd end up 11 years later roommates and doing shows and having a good time and doing all that shit.
Oh yeah, that'd be a blast.
It's crazy to think about it.
All it took was one really bad X-Men movie. Really fucking bad.
I think we ought to bust that one back out and do it as a review.
Oh my god! An anniversary show.
Yeah, you know what? November 6th is our anniversary. We should do that for the anniversary show.
Okay.
We should go back.
I mean, I still maintain that the best part of that movie is Liam Schreiber.
Liam Schreiber is the best part of the movie.
He is. Which also pisses me off because he's been fucked out of ever coming back and shit. And like, you son of a bitch.
But, he didn't have a high tent pole to stand next to. Like, God bless Tyler Mane in the original X-Men movie, but my god, that was just an awful fucking rendition of Sabretooth. He was basically mute. Like...
I was like, so you basically turned Sabretooth into Lurch from the Addams Family. Cool. I'm glad this worked. I was like, I'm sorry, I've seen plenty of times in the comics where Sabretooth told Magneto to go fuck himself. You're telling me, like, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Is this Sabretooth's Neanderthal cousin? Like, what the fuck is this?
It's funny, though, because, like, before the X-Men movie hit, like, comic movies were just dead.
Not good.
Like, we'd had the Batman movies and the Superman movies and stuff, and there'd been a couple other things here and there.
Okay, and the DC ones was like 50-50 shot. You either got a good one or you got a bad one, or you got good first one, bad sequels. Like that shit happened. Yeah, but Marvel at that point had really just like not even hit anything good.
Dolph Lundgren Punisher and fucking that shitty Captain America movie.
Yep.
But, I mean, like, that X-Men movie, like, as bad as it is looking back at it now...
Oh, yeah.
That started everything.
Oh, yeah.
That and Blade, the Blade movies and shit.
The Blade movie and then the Spider-Man. Like, Blade, Spider-Man, and that X-Men movie really kind of, like...
It changed everything and so many things got made because of that. Like, Hellboy would have never got made if it not for that. Like, so many cool movies came out of that. Like... We'd still be watching shit like Spawn. Like,
oh god damn! There's such good things from that movie, but overall the movie was just not good. But it's like one of those things where it's like it was made in that time period where like people had just got a little too comfortable with CGI. but not in a good way, where
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like not like comfortable making it good, but just comfortable using it.
Oh, yeah.
However, because John Leguizamo's performance was amazing. Michael Jai White as fucking, you know, Al was amazing. Dude, fucking
Martin Sheen.
Martin
man.
Sheen was fucking, oh my god.
He is a
Jason
scenery
Wade.
chewing
I
fucking
loved
machine
it.
in
And
that
it
shit.
is perfect because he needed to be an over-the-top bad guy in that. Because to be honest, in the comics, Jason Wynn is kind of a fucking forgetful ass. Like
He's a forgettability. Like,
yeah, but like, yeah, it was so many good things for a movie that just was like, bleh. God damn it.
But I mean, like, ultimately, we've been really lucky.
Yeah.
To get to do all the things that we got to do, and still be here doing it now, and
Yeah.
be in a good place.
Talking about movies that we won't see till like 2022 unless the pandemic ever fucking, you know, ends and shit. Like,
Yeah, I mean, so much stuff is going to end up on just going straight to on demand.
some of the stuff's
unfortunately.
on streaming or it keeps getting pushed back. They pushed like some of it back another year and another year and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like, I mean, fuck, we finally got the New Mutants movie and
Yeah.
shit like that, which I still have to go see.
Yeah, I still
wanna
haven't
go
seen that. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till it comes out. It's like as much as I want to see it, I don't trust going into a theater because, man, like that was kind of the only downside about going to the fair this weekend was seeing just how many people really just
Don't give a fuck.
don't give a
No.
fuck, and they're like, cool, I'm gonna not wear my mask and all. Like, fuck, I'd have settled if they were all just dick nosers, but no, these
No.
motherfuckers were just not even wearing it. Like,
Yeah, that was the bigger downside to that, unfortunately.
and that's why I don't want to get stuck in a fucking room like where it's like recirculated air with these assholes. Like, fuck. No.
I do miss going to the movies. Though.
I do.
Like,
I
that
miss
was-
a good like theater.
Yeah.
I think once stuff finally clears up and shit like that, and like a good big movie comes out, I
Yeah.
can't wait for that.
That'll be a fun.
But,
that'll be a fun time.
yeah, unfortunately, it's not really, you know, not really going to happen anytime soon. At least not in 2020.
I will say to end the nostalgia trip, like, I just would say thank you to everybody that's,
Oh yeah,
that's listened or
Yeah.
shared a link or been on a show or like helped out in any way.
stared at my boudoir pictures.
Oh, my God, the
late at
Costanza.
night. The Costanza, yeah.
I feel like in some circles we're still known for that. And we haven't done it in like fucking years now. It's been like 5 years.
I know
since
one
we've done
circle
that
that
shit.
somebody's still very familiar. And Dirk won't let me ever like, hand him the book ever again. Like, you want to sign that book for me, Dirk? Yeah.
No, I
that
sure
book-
don't.
that book looked familiar. Why? That was the one in the picture. Oh,
Sitting
like,
on my Schrott's.
the thing, like rested ever so caressingly on my junk.
I mean, I make it a point to teabag every table, that
Oh,
I
yeah.
possibly
Oh, yeah,
can.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
No,
It's
just-
important.
Yeah, you gotta put it on the glass.
Traditions are important.
Put it on the glass.
But no, yeah, thank you to everybody that's listening and has
Oh,
ever
yeah.
listened. Like that, anybody that ever takes the time to listen to whatever bullshit that we're spouting in whatever show, like that. That is something that that means
you
a lot.
must
to
so
me.
be bored.
You
Like,
must be a really bored motherfucker.
You're spending your time with us. You're bored.
I'm still of all the shows that we've done
Oh god.
and all the time that we've been doing this.
Uh huh.
I'm still butthurt about one show.
The God and Godzilla.
God and
one?
Godzilla still sticks in my craw. Because I still feel like it's one of the best shows we ever did, and everybody hated it.
And I'm so middle of the ground on it. Like, I was just like, yeah, it was a show. It was cool. You know, like, it was fun things. But, man, it's like, you love it, and everyone else fucking hates it.
You can't talk about religion. You can't talk about politics. You can't talk about religion.
Not even in relation to Godzilla. Like, come on. That's... People worshipped him like a deity. You can't talk about Jesus. Like,
I had that list in my head, like the mental list of my favorite shows that we've ever done.
and that is the...
That's one of my personal favorites, like the Michigan Mirror Show.
Oh, God. That one was fucking...
God bless
hilarious.
Jared Blanton and his fucking belligerently strong cancer plants. Like,
Oh, man.
I've never been that wrecked trying
Shit will
to
kick your
functionally
goddamn ass.
do a fucking
Kick your
functionally
goddamn ass.
do a fucking podcast in my life.
I was so happy to see a fucking Jack in the Box and a Del Taco. But we're finally getting Del Tacos.
We're getting Del Taco.
Oh yeah,
That's so
they're
exciting.
opening them up in Columbus.
My Michigan friends, you'll never see me again because I don't have an excuse to come back.
Yeah, it's just to come back to the weird U-turn of Palooza fucking place.
I'll have to bust JR on this one. I will tell you, like, I've never been more terrified on a car ride in my life.
Oh no!
than that
So I have
fucking
to.
car
Oh my
ride.
god, dude! Yeah,
Trying to find the Del Taco.
And I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna kill us, man! Like,
I'm way too
Jesus Christ.
stoned for this, dude.
Just because you had cancer and you came this close to death doesn't mean the rest of us in this truck want to come that close, motherfucker. I'm like, I don't know that many people that'll whip shimmies at fucking 50 miles an hour while oncoming traffic. I'm like, you little fucker. But the greatest set of irony is, as much as I talk shit about Michigan, that's where my girlfriend's from.
Yep.
And I'm like, God damn it! Like,
Much as I tease about Dayton being a shithole.
yeah, like,
You're from there.
Yeah.
Ariel's from there. My company is based in there that I work for. Like,
all the
I'm
good
just
things.
irrevocably tied.
All the good
to
things
fucking
either
Dayton.
started there but left,
Right.
like, or expanded out away from it because, it's a crap hole. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's that one. The mirror. That will forever be the mirror show because I got lost in the mirror for 40 minutes.
Me and JR doing a
while
show.
JR
and
is talking 400 miles an
Oh
hour.
my god, dude! Like, trying to do that show with him and shit. Like, I was like, I don't know if I'm there.
I don't know if I'm mentally present enough to
like-
process the speed at which you're talking.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here like, I don't know if we're on the same levels, but I'm gonna try and go with you on this ride, man. Like,
Me, I'm just
it's
sitting there with a
like,
taco in one hand and my eyes lost in the abyss.
just like staring into the mirror like it fucking leads to Narnia or some shit. Like, fucking there's a little fucking scarf wearing fucking goat boy dancing around or some shit. And he's just like, la 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 la, and shit. Yeah.
And the first time I went out to Michigan and did John Colell's show, Stephanie and I were on that panel, and the guy
Oh my god.
was something Mark, like Crazy Mark or something like that.
Yeah,
It
one of
was
those
like-
used car salesmen.
Yeah,
guys
it was
known
wearing
as
like a
the-
fucking clown wig and shit. It's
Oh,
like me and
God.
her, and I think
There's
one of-
two other guys.
one of the guys from Slack Jog Punk show were there, and I think Brewski from Pod Bros was on there.
Yeah.
And the guy wouldn't even call us by our names.
He just call you by your show.
Yeah, and poor Stephanie got called like whatever. What was the name of that show that they did? Because I can't remember the original name, but she was just. We were sitting there just dying. Like,
Was-
what do you think, Basement Fodder? I'm like, that's my fucking name, bro. Like, I have a name. I am a man.
Swear to God, if you call me by my show's name again, I'm gonna punt kick you in your asshole so hard that clown wig's gonna come off. Like, literally, just,
Oh my god.
yep. I'm gonna shove that clown wig so far up your ass. Motherfucker.
Oh god, that was like.
I love the show where we went up to Michigan and we'd got the hotel room, and then we got in there and it was literally like a fucking demo room for IKEA furniture. We're all like, what the actual fuck is this? And that was the show that we did at the weird swap meet
Yep.
fucking thing, which, I mean, it was cool, but it was just very like...
That was Taylortown, yeah.
Yeah, I
that
was
was
all
Taylortown,
like,
yeah.
what the fucking shit?
That was like the third Taylortown that I did,
Yeah,
I think, or
yeah.
second or third, because you
Yeah.
didn't go with me the first one.
This was the one where the plants had gotten to you.
Yeah.
Walked around. Sorry, I've been gone for so long, but you've literally been gone for less than 10 minutes. Like, you're fine. I've been gone forever. It's not like you literally just walked to fucking Mordor and back. You were
literally felt
gone.
like I was traveling with hobbits. Like, no, I feel
Three
I
movies of
I can't believe Casey Pierce ever spoke to me after that because I stood at her table so smashed out of my mind and like
And you thought you were there for
I
like
thought I was there forever.
hours, and I was like, you were
Forever.
literally there for like 5 minutes, dude. And he was like, no way. I was
There's
like,
no way.
yes, you were literally gone for like 15 minutes total time, and you're just like, I can't believe it happened. And I'm like, yep, that's
But man, we got to do those shows at Hare Arena before
Man.
it closed. That was kind of an honor to get to.
That was
go
an
to a
honor,
cool
but it was
place
also
like-
sketchy.
It was so sketchy.
Fuck, man.
The outlets in there, man. Oh my god.
I was expecting not just ours, but anybody's. I was constantly looking over, waiting for something to catch on fire. There was so much velour and I was crushed velvet.
The outlets in there were so old; they all just had two prongs.
Yeah, there was
there's no grounding in there.
Fucking the brass fucking outlets and shit. I'm holy goddamn, dude.
Oh my god.
I feel like the room we were in was one of the back rooms at The Shining or some shit. Fuck. It was so bad. It was what happened the day before this? There was a gun show. Okay, cool. That's good to know. I don't know how many people got flat tires just trying to get in that parking lot.
Oh my god.
There was chuck holes. They're not even potholes. Literally, there was a sinkhole in the parking lot that I'm pretty sure a van got stuck in. It was bad.
I will not mention names on this one, but the show that we went to where we got proposition for a three-way.
Oh shit! That was at
it was at Gem City, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at Nutter Center. Yeah, for Gem City, and it was basically I'm sorry. Wait, did you just say you'd take us both back to your hotel room and do what now? You're that flexible. Oh, okay.
I'm do we have groupies? Do podcasters get groupies?
Yeah, and then luckily enough, our friends are no.
Don't take that Pepsi shot.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm all right, thank you.
That was one of my favorite shows too. The one where we did in my van after Gem City. That was one of the best.
That show. Yeah,
that was that same show.
The one where the security guard is driving around, mean mugging the fuck out of us because that entire parking lot emptied real fucking quick, and then we're sitting.
I still get people who tell me that's their favorite show.
Really?
That we ever did.
That the ranting in the van?
The weird, spastic laptop on my lap in the van show. Or the shows that we did from, the hotels in Lexicon and stuff, and,
Oh, God, the fucking Creeper Alley. Remember that one?
Rape Alley?
Yeah, Rape Alley, and then the people that were, sitting in the truck, and we were this dude has been in this truck for, 3 hours.
What sort of larceny are you planning
here? It's freaky, it's fucking with me.
That hotel, one of the first couple Lexicons we went to, we stayed at the same hotel.
Yeah.
And it was the hotel itself was great.
Yeah.
But the parking lot was butted up against the sketchiest alley that I've ever seen.
We always kept getting the room that faced it, so it was
and we always with 2 years in a row we got a room where someone was already fucking in it.
Yeah. Knock knock. Yes. What do you mean? Yes.
Dude, somebody's already in this room.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thankfully, we found the hotel in Georgetown for the other one.
Yeah,
that one was so much better.
And a hot tub. If you ever want me to come to your con, just
better have a hot tub in that
better
hotel.
have a hot tub because Dave's old and broken. I need a hot tub.
I'm really glad that we've got to experience all this. Even the worst shows that we went to we found a way to make it fun.
Con on the Cob did actually turn out being fun, but the other part about it was that drive up there was awesome because it was about fall, so up in the Cuyahoga area where it was, their national forest was all orange and fall colors, and it was really great.
We got lost in it looking for a McDonald's.
Yeah, and then we also went to that suck ass fucking the time forgot. And I don't care if that motherfucker literally wants to give me half his store. He can go fuck himself. This shop sucks dick.
I've reviewed that place on Facebook, and I got so much shit from that guy.
Yeah.
Hey man, God bless you, sir. If you want to have a fucking place to store all your toys and call it a store, it was not a store. It was a beautiful toy museum.
Yeah, just call it a toy museum where you have you train young children to follow me around like I'm a goddamn hoodlum and shit. When I'm trying to fucking squeeze my way through your fucking shoebox building, looking at figures that are, 3 times as much as they should be. And not even in, like, good mock collector condition. They're, like, beat-up-ass boxes and shit. And you're like, yeah, it's like 150. And I'm like, hey, it better suck fuck and make me a steak for 150, dude. Like, it's a fucking Kenner toy. Like, what the shit?
Sorry, sir. I think something is wrong with your pricing structure.
Yeah, I swear to God. Okay, this is one thing that I hate, and like when it comes to the toy pricing thing, eBay fucked that up so bad. Like,
remember we used to be able to go to the thrift store and like find figures?
Yeah,
can't do that anymore.
No. eBay fucked that up.
eBay fucked it all up. eBay and Amazon have fucked toy collecting. God, yeah. It's like the best and worst thing that ever happened to toy collecting.
Accessibility, great. Availability, fuck you. Like, shit. So actually be able to find figures here, you dick.
We've been lucky in a lot of respects. We really have, like, to get to go to some of the, like, to get invited to so many shows and get, like, tickets to stuff that, like, I remember the first time we got accepted as a press pass to Lexington. That was
my God, we thought we had, like, hit that
the
upper
fucking lottery.
Or some shit. Like, oh my God, we don't have to pay for the tickets. It's so great. That just meant we ended up spending all that extra money on more shit at Lexington. Like, God damn it, because it was like always right after tax time.
Right.
So it was like, what are we doing? We're spending our entire tax return on Lexington. Nobody was like
100% worth it.
Yeah, like, they're like, you're a dumbass. And I'm like, shut up, it was worth it.
Shut your horse mouth.
Worth it. I ate a steak the size of my forearm there. Suck my dick, it was worth it. Yeah.
To go from being like touching knees,
like,
in a shitty,
like helping on each other, basically,
to having nice equipment and a nice place to do it, and like we've been really lucky, and I've loved every second of it.
Oh yeah, it's been a blast.
And then we'll be hitting 200 shows here within the next couple of months, which is going to be a big milestone. I'd love to do something special for that. If we can figure out something to do.
Good old-fashioned orgy.
We may have to just say fuck it and kill our livers for an ultimate drunk show.
God.
We haven't done a drunk show in years.
Oh, we're going to go down to Jungle Gyms and get some plum wine?
We'll take a trip to Jungle Gyms and get some plum wine, and then we'll just do the ultimate drunk show.
Oh, God.
For number 200.
My liver already is yelling at me. I can hear it already.
We came back last night after Ren Fair. We threw a couple logs in the fire pit and sat around outside and got to chat and hang out and stuff. And our neighbors were, I'm sure, very pissed off because
the old lady was
super loud,
glared at me like, and I'm like, listen here, penguin, you fuck off, cobblepot, like. Jesus Christ. Dude, she did. She looked
It's my property. I'll do what I want.
She looked like Danny DeVito sounded as Oswald Cobblepot. Like, I don't even know. Like,
know how to describe that, but yes.
Danny DeVito had a face. It was our old lady ass neighbor, the way she looked at me. I was like, oh my God. Like, Jesus.
But I'll put this in perspective. I put it in perspective of this. Like, this time next year, well, a little further down, Errol and I are we're getting married. Like, I would never have met her.
Yep.
If not for doing the show. Like,
that's true.
It's weird how you just don't know how
never
shit's
met
gonna
her.
affect your life.
Stuck a finger in Sandy's bum.
Never would have pissed off every person we've ever known by saying shit we shouldn't have said about him on the show. Like.
Pretty much. Can't help it, the turkey was dry.
All the bridges just burned.
Nuke these motherfuckers! Don't need this shit. Oh, yeah.
I don't have any friends. Fuck it. We have each other.
A microphone and an audience. Fuck me. And time. And birthday shitzels.
It wouldn't be a show
if you didn't rip
if you weren't burping and I wasn't farting.
There we go. One or the other, or both, depending on the day.
I'll tell you what, like, in all honesty, like, I could do this for the rest of my life and it wouldn't bother me. Like, as long as the tin can and string is working and, like, somebody's willing to listen to it, I don't care.
Yep.
I'm a happy motherfucker to know.
For me, I don't even care if
everybody's
listen to it.
listening.
I'm just going to fucking scream into a microphone and then put it up on the internet. I don't give a shit.
People are going to be listening to this tomorrow going, this is the worst fucking show.
It's my
Not talking
birthday.
about dick.
Suck my dick. I don't care. Like,
I was trying to think, like, if I had any regrets. Like, I know we said a long time, we promised ourselves when we started doing this.
yeah.
We made our rules, like, we'll never censor ourselves and we'll never apologize for anything.
Nah.
But when I listen to some of those old shows, I will say that I was not necessarily as evolved as a person.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there are absolutely some things that I wish that I could, take that back or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, like, you always got to learn and then, like, grow as a person and stuff. And I don't think we are necessarily the same that we were then and shit like that. But I also think, like, things have changed to help us kind of grow that way. So it's like, that's good. But was I always honest to who I, was at that time? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much,
I
yeah.
pretty much said what was on my mind, when it was on there. And so I was, that was my kind of promise to myself, was I always just say exactly what I'm thinking and feeling, so that way, And then, if it ever changed, I would say, hey, I feel differently about it this time, and, that's great.
I will definitely say that I was not as tolerant as a person. And
We were a lot more rage-filled at that time.
yeah, I would say that my understanding of, like,
the world and how
the world was not as good as it is these days. And
No.
But I mean, like, this whole thing has been like a weird way of growing up, like you said, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, this has helped us grow up
Oh, yeah.
and go beyond just being
Became a man. because
angry
of
in a
the
basement, like, or drunk in a
Yeah,
basement.
drunk and angry in a basement and stuff. They're either drunk or they're ranting. Like, there's angry, sad people. Like, Jesus Christ.
So I give a couple more special shout outs. I will say, like, we talked about Dirk, of course, already. We talked about Aaron and Sarah, and then of course, Mike and Vic and those guys, like, really came in and took us under the wing. And Eric Palecki, those guys. I'll say Russell, of course.
Russell.
Giving us, like, not only just one of the best comics, and I still say it's one of my top 5 comics of all time, but, like, giving us a comic to bond over.
Yeah.
Because our comic tastes are different and shit.
But it was something that we both liked so much.
Pack Rat, like,
yeah.
I would say, like, Jamie and Teresa at Pack Rat, like, they've given us so much over the years.
Having done this and met them and stuff, it really changed a lot about, like, the local comic shop thought process and stuff. Because, like, when I lived in Dayton, I used to go to one, like, Mavericks.
Yeah, Mavericks,
down stuff. And, like, those guys were cool, but, like, I don't know. You go to that, like, you always joke about having, like, that Cheers sensibility about a place where it's like you go to it and it feels like your place.
Yeah, it's your shop, you know. Yeah,
and,
everybody's
like,
got that.
I liked Mavericks. I don't think I ever really kind of felt like it was my shop. It was just the shop that was closest to me. But then I also realized that Bell Book and Comics was also close to me and stuff like that, and that was cool. But having come up here, I would say, like, if they're like, okay, what's your shop, your comic shop, your toy, like that, like where those things and stuff
hands
like
down
that.
Pack Rat, yeah.
It's gonna be Pack Rat, and even like back in Dayton, we had like down by Foy's, we had a comic shop, and then we had a gaming shop, and yeah, it's kind of. Like, even the shop up here, like, with Guard Tower and stuff, it's kind of become more like, that's my gaming shop. That's the shop I go to and stuff. But, yeah, like, Jamie and Teresa and the stuff they do there and how, like, awesome they are with it really did feel like... Because, like, you go into a shop and you feel like you have to spend money and you feel like you kind of have to do... I never felt that at their shop, really. Like,
no.
It was pretty cool.
They're always happy to see you, and they always want to talk, and they're glad that you're there.
They always want to know your name. No.
Well, it's just like, I never went to a comic book shop before that, like, wasn't a gatekeeper kind of shop.
Yeah.
Like, I had so many negative experiences with like gatekeeper fucking kind of shops where like everybody is the comic book guy from the fucking Simpsons and
Or
all
the fucking
flaming
like,
dick bags,
yeah, the
like-
Magic the Gathering,
Right.
fucking aficionados and shit like that.
But to go in there, like, those are just people who absolutely genuinely love what they do and want to talk to you about it. Like,
yeah.
want to fucking get you into something cool.
like you can hang out and just shoot shit and stuff, and they're
Yeah.
cool with that. Like I've seen plenty of guys that have just literally sat in there for hours.
And we've done it ourselves.
Yeah,
like,
didn't buy shit, but like just hung out, and they were totally cool with it. They weren't like, okay, you buy something, you get the fuck out. Like,
And now we're lucky enough down here in Columbus to have a lot of great shops too. Like Comic Town is a really great shop out there. We've
Yeah.
got to work with them, quite a few times now. That's been really cool. Like there's some really good places out here. The Crazy Comics is really cool out there too. And even World's Greatest Comics out there in Westerville is really a good shop too.
Yeah.
But like we
Yeah.
really lucked out to get to be part of all that shit.
oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that's what it's really about. Is like fellowshipping about comics, man.
Oh yeah. Whether it's ranting, saying these comics suck ass, or being like, I love it so much. It changed my perspective on life. Which I have read a few comics that have kind of done that.
That's what's and again I'll bring that back to indie books. Like that's really where I've found like those comics that stick with me. Mm-hmm. And like been lucky at like old wounds,
really,
like American
that resonate,
Dreams, and like Hot Shot and shit like that has really just stuck with me.
Yeah, it kind of resonates with
And
you.
Tales of Mystery and Nightmare World and stuff that I just like. This is an essential part of my comic story in my life. Like
Yeah.
But, I mean, we were lucky, and we continue to be lucky, and hopefully we'll keep doing this shit as long as
Yeah.
as long as I have a
I mean,
functioning
I'll keep doing it until they
laptop
take my
and
power
microphone.
away. Yeah, until they take my power away, I'll keep doing it.
until the COVID wipes out everybody, and we're living in Fallout world. Like,
Even then, we'll be one of those fucking radio stations that you're gonna like, what the fuck is this and stuff out there, fucking.
I will definitely be that guy. Well, let's see where we at. Oh, good lord, we're past an hour. We didn't talk about anything that's relevant other than this fucking nostalgia tripping out of shit.
Well, I mean, to be honest, what we're really gonna talk about, like, okay, there's a bunch of hype with like Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff, some bad stuff. So, like, good stuff, supposedly, Doctor Strange is going to be involved.
Yeah.
There's a possibility of the, like, Spider-Verse kind of stuff. Live action. What kind, we're not entirely sure. There's been talk about Andrew Garfield and, like,
Even Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. But then the newer one that seems to be pretty solid and confirmed is that Jamie Foxx's fucking Electro is going to be in it, and this is interesting because like there are a lot of people that really liked Jamie Foxx's performance, but like didn't think he got a fair shot because the writing for it.
No, that's fair. It is
bad.
fair. Like he's a great actor.
Yeah,
and it looked cool.
it did. It just the
But those
writing for
movies,
it
in my opinion,
sucked.
are pretty fucking terrible. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to Andrew Garfield or whatever, like he did the best job he could, but like,
Their Gwen Stacy was really awesome.
I mean, yeah, she was really great too. But
And the Dr. Connors was amazing.
like, yeah,
But the Lizard was kind of, in practicality, not that great.
no, it's pretty saucy, unfortunately.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of talk about like different people being in this third Spider-Man movie. Like, I don't know. It seems like it's possibly turning out to be some fucking multi-dimensional, all kinds of things. And I'm like, that's cool. I just want J. Jonah Jameson. I don't give a fuck about any of these other motherfuckers.
Oh god, yeah.
The only person I want from any of the other ones is fucking J. Jonah Jameson. So if you give
Which they've already teased that in the last
they
Spider-Man
did.
movie,
and
yeah.
that's where I'm like, I just want more of that. Don't tease me. Finish the job. Like, if you're going to start, you better finish, or else I'm going to be really angry and really hard, and I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to be happy. God damn it. Like,
Be dick teasing me with
but
his
then
awesome
there's
J.
also
Jonah action.
talks about, like, now what's going to happen with Venom as far as, like, Venom might pop up in it, or are they going to try and connect it, like, Venom into the MCU? because you also saw what just recently was announced with all the stuff that came from Fox.
Yeah.
All that is now classified as the Marvel Legacy. Like all those movies, like the non-MCU, X-Men, Fantastic Four, all that stuff, it's Marvel Legacy films.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, what the fuck does that mean? Like, are you acknowledging it? You're not? What are you just, what the fuck's going on here with that? But, yeah, so there's a lot of news with that Spider-Man stuff going on. A lot of movies basically just being delayed repetitively. I had almost completely forgot until they mentioned it out recently, like the Morbius movie, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's right! Yeah, I forgot fucking that thing's supposed to come out." Like, there's so many comic book movies that I was like, "Oh yeah, these were all coming down the pipe," and then all of a sudden it was like, you know, like, well, in about a year or two, you might be able to like see them on a streaming service or something. And I was like, "Well, goddamn." What else?
Oh, well, wrestling has been, of course, we have to talk a little bit about that. The draft just happened. And, I don't know why they even bother with this fucking draft stuff anymore. Like, it's a wet fart. It always is. Like, it doesn't matter at this point.
Especially because as much as they're trying to tell me that NXT is a third brand, it's not their developmental, it is a third brand. What is not involved in the draft this year? NXT. Like, what the shit? Like, I don't know.
I actually watched Raw live like for the first time in forever the last Monday, and I'm like, well, I really haven't missed anything. Like, no, all I'm missing is like them trying to pass off Ray's kid as a fucking passable performer. You know what? Here's what I will say. This guy's had like barely any training. Like, he's had some level with his dad, I guess, or whatever. But like.
But okay, the thing
when you're like 6'3", you can't be a luchador, really.
I mean, like, you can, but like
you have to be really good.
You have to be really good, and like you have to come at it with a certain angle because, like, we get to talk about the Alberto Del Rio thing, but like bringing him up, he was a second generation, third generation, I think. Like, so, like, but he was a tall guy, so he had to learn how to interact with, like. And do Lucha Libre from a big guy standpoint and be the like...
Right, but what they're doing with Dominic Mysterio is like trying to make him a clone of Ray, and you can't do that when A, you have barely any ring time.
And we already have one, his name was Kalisto.
And B, you're like 6'3" and awkward.
Yeah, and you do things about half the speed that your dad does.
Yeah, it's
like it's a big tall guy doing slow versions.
It's like a cover band, like
like that's at a wedding, not like a regular like we tour cover band, but like the wedding cover band. Like, yeah,
and like to some extent they're smart because they've teamed him up with Alberto Carrillo, who's like super crazy talented and awesome, and it's like let him do most of the work, and then Dominic can do a couple of spots, like. Let him come in for the hot tag and do a couple spots, and that's it. Yeah. But, like, when you've got a guy as green as he is, you cannot expose him.
No.
And the thing is,
they've
like...
been doing some of the weirdest and most, like...
sketchy fucking storylines. This shit with, like, Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins, and Buddy Murphy is, like, hitting on...
Like, there's some sort of, like...
Mysterio's 19-year-old daughter
and stuff. Like, it's very border pedo.
Yeah, I feel like they really need to just cut this shit
And then they did that really bad spot where they blinded Ray with the corner of the thing, and then, like, they did it to Aleister Black, and then they nuked his character, and now he's come back as a newer thing, and I don't know. It's just... The writing staff is fucking... Oh, my God. You know what I can only relate their writing staff right now is like Malibu Comics from 1990s. Like, oh my god!
Oh man, that's a fucking way back reference.
Yeah, that is like a way back reference.
Those of you who've been longtime comic fans will remember the fucking atrocity that is Malibu.
Oh god, Malibu came up with some of the fucking just most fucking insane shit I've ever heard in my life, and some of them got cartoons, which blew my fucking mind.
Ultra Force.
Ultra Force is like hands down one of the
live action Nightman series. Like
so good.
Dude, friggin' lord,
Oh my
man.
God, it's so good because it's so bad. Like, it's just like, what the actual fuck is going on here? And that's literally what these, like, the writing is for right
Yeah,
now.
it is. It's very much like that.
And then you got Retribution, which, I mean, every new thing that they divulge with this is just like, well, it's like you created this ultimate, like, badass thing, and then every time you, like, show a new piece of it, somebody just runs up and dick kicks it. Like, pow! It just neuters the fuck
I realize
out of
that
it.
we're in the middle of a pandemic, but you guys have people that make gear and shit. Like, you could have come up with, like, something that looks like a fucking Bane mask that you ordered from Wish.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Seriously.
Like, in their gear
and the
with-
names that
the
they've
names
given
are
these
so
T-Bar and fucking...
Like, oh my god. Okay, so it was like
It reminds me of, like, the DOA, like, shit from, like, the early 90s, the gang war shit that they did, where it was, like, DOA and the Nation and the fucking Los Boricuas and shit.
and
Like,
Ahmed Johnson. and
it's
stuff,
that
yeah.
level of fucking cringeworthy.
It's so bad because, like,
And these are talented people. These are people
these guys,
who
yeah, they're
really
really
could
talented,
be
but
stars.
they gave them like a $20 marketing and gear budget, and it was like, okay, we're gonna get all their masks from Wish, and we're gonna steal all their names from Reject, fucking Gladiators, from, you know, like Laser, Blade.
They sound like
Blazer.
fucking American Gladiator names.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like,
and
what
God
the
bless these
fuck?
people. Like, they're fighting, like Dominic Dijakovic and the other guys. Like, they're trying to go on Twitter and be like, oh well, Dominic Dijakovic, he fucking tweeted like, well, I've never seen Dominic Dijakovic like fucking main event Raw, but T-Bar is doing it or whatever. I'm like, that's cool. But, like, so did the fucking guy in the bunny suit with Adam Rose. Like, if that's the option,
I was like, you know what?
I'm good.
You really want to talk about, like, your gimmick main eventing an entire thing? I'm going to go ahead and direct you to an egg that was the main fucking attraction to an entire goddamn pay-per-view that gave birth to a fucking... What was it? The
turkey.
The turkey.
the gobbledygook fucking
Yeah, the gobbledygooker and shit like that. Like, so don't be like claiming just because you were like, I was the main event on Raw. Cool. An egg was the main storyline of a pay-per-view. Like,
David Arquette main evented Nitro
won a title.
and won the world title. It doesn't make it good.
there was a Raw where it basically came out that Vince McMahon had basically almost sold and then did things to his own daughter. Like, fucking Val Venus got his wiener chopped off on a fucking Raw. Like, don't put that as your standard, because, like, there have been, like, Raws that, like, should not be, like, remembered because of the shit that's happened, you know? Like,
Just
for fuck's sake, man.
T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack.
Oh, my...
Man, I swear to God, I wanted to be a fucking fly on Pence's head in the fucking creative meeting where they're like, all right, here's what your names are going to be. You're Slapjack.
Your T-Bar, your fucking, you know, like Mace and stuff. Yeah, I was like...
You might as well just call me, like, Nutsack and the Taint. Like, if it's just... It would have been better.
I want to just immediately see the visual reaction of all these wrestlers as they're being told this, because I want to see, like... I want to see if there's that instant, like, look of just fucking soul-wrenching disappointment. Like, this is, like, what you're giving me? Like...
It's got to be similar to like Steve Austin when he talks about like they wanted to fucking call him Chili McFreeze. Like this is 2020's Chili McFreeze. Like I hate to be these talented guys, and you're like, how exciting is that? Like, oh man, we're gonna push you guys. You're gonna be a main event staple.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden
then
the
you're
big
fucking
guy,
name is Slapjack.
then a
Like-
giant dude in a fur coat with a sparkly stormtrooper helmet comes busting through a wall and shit like that, and you're like, what the fuck is this
This
shit?
is the fucking Shockmaster.
Yeah, like, you are the
all over again.
Shockmaster. Oh my god. Like, you are 2020 Shockmaster. Like, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god! And it's just like they're trying so hard too. They're really trying hard
Yeah.
with this. And they're really trying to be like, and then like the big revelation that they come up with.
Oh, this was
is that the leader of this fucking group is Mustafa Ali. Now,
Who I haven't seen on anything
he's
for a
basically
while.
been like a jobber to the stars, like.
But not even for a while. Like,
No.
if I recall, he's been like off TV for a while, and then all of a sudden they brought him back, and they like it was him, Ricochet, and Apollo, and they did the whole like thing with the Hurt Locker or whatever.
Hurt Business.
The Hurt, yeah.
Which I will say, like, that is actually one of the things they've been doing right. Like, to get a group like those
what
guys.
they did right was we no longer have Raw Underground.
Which is, my God, one of the stupidest fucking things they've ever come up with.
God.
But, like, taking guys like MVP, like, MVP is a great talker.
Yeah.
He's a perfect guy to be the leader of a group like
Yeah.
that. And to use, Bobby Lashley, who's your
Just a
massive dominant
destroyer.
guy. Shelton Benjamin, who's your great performer.
Yeah.
And then Cedric Alexander, who's like the young, hungry guy. Like, this
Yeah.
is a great faction. It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Their gear looks
Yeah.
good. They
This
got
is
the
like
black
if you
and
took
gold,
like the Nation and Evolution and
Right.
basically put them together like the best things.
And MVP is like a super strong leader and
Yeah.
shit too, and it's a guy that can still go in the ring,
Yeah.
but has that experience, and he's a great natural promo guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you put him with guys who really don't cut great promos. Like Cedric
No.
Alexander's not bad,
No.
but like Lashley,
He's definitely more the
can't
talker.
talk to save his life.
No.
And Shelton, that's been the biggest thing on him. Like, he just is
Yeah.
not a talker.
Nope.
But like, put them with a guy like this. This
Yeah.
is like they did with the Nation and shit. Like, but then like first of all, to have a heel versus heel faction war happening, like, there's no interest in heel versus heel factions. Like, no one gives a fuck.
Which this is another thing that the draft just kind of gave us that we talked about was like Seth Rollins got moved to SmackDown.
And now officially, Buddy Murphy is too.
Oh.
So him and Buddy are gone to SmackDown now.
Yeah.
So
Which-
I don't know where that leaves the whole Ray Dominic fucking pedo
Hopefully
storyline.
they
Hopefully in the
fucking-
goddamn
But the
past.
problem is, right now the champion on SmackDown is a heel Roman Reigns. So what, you're gonna do a heel Roman Reigns versus a heel Seth
Right, because at
Rollins?
this point you can't turn Seth. Because A, he's a terrible babyface.
He is.
And B, his character is so fucking completely devoid of any likability.
Oh yeah, the
The
Monday,
Monday Night Messiah,
Well, which is going away
yeah, which
because
is
what
gone
you
now.
had, yeah,
I guess you're the
like-
Friday Night fucking Messiah now, which
Yeah.
doesn't have the same ring to it.
No,
Like,
they-
and I give Seth Rollins credit. Like, he's a great promo,
he took it and ran with it.
and
It was
like
good.
they had that their showdown between him and Buddy like on Raw. And it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like people like you could have easily turned Buddy Murphy.
Yeah,
Because,
it was
like-
kind of one of those like it felt like they were going to,
Yeah,
especially
it
because
was
they
like,
got rid
we're
of
right on the cusp.
they got rid of the Authors of Pain,
Right, they released those guys.
which it was like that was the muscle for that team. So it was like okay, cool. So they basically destroyed that whole little thing.
But they've split up the New Day because
Yeah.
Kofi and Xavier
Xavier
are now the tag champs on I think on SmackDown now.
Are they?
And Big E is going off to Raw, I think, or either it's two of them are going one place, one's going the other.
I thought it was Xavier and Kofi are going to Raw.
It might
and
be
he's
that,
on
yeah, and he might be
SmackDown.
on SmackDown.
Which
But,
is
like-
interesting because I wonder what's going to happen then if they are there and you
If
get
you're gonna push
the
a guy.
Hurt, and the Hurt.
Right.
Dudes.
If you're going to push a guy who's like who needs to be elevated or whatever, then Xavier is not Xavier, but Big E is that guy.
Yeah.
He is a natural babyface. He's
Yep.
extremely
Cut
charismatic.
amazing
cuts
promos.
great promos. He's
Fucking-
great in the ring.
Yep, he's a beast.
He is a
moves.
guy who can go
Yeah,
up
because
that level.
Kofi, while still good, is probably towards the later end
Mm-hmm.
of his career and stuff like that. Big E's still very much viable. Xavier is more into the shows that he does
yeah.
than actually doing anything. And they've just kind of proved that they're not really going to do.
They're not going to push a guy like him,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And it's not even it's not a race thing or whatever. Because I know a lot of people think that it's like they won't push people of color and stuff. I don't think that's true as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
The problem is it's a size thing. As long as Vince is in charge, guys the size of Xavier are not going to get pushed.
Yeah, he's
Not
like
in a meaningful
Like
way.
he's good. He's built. He can do a lot of good stuff. The thing is, he's not there. Like guys his size either have to be very like high flyer or something of that. If you're going to be big and like bulky and stuff like that, you have to be bigger.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is. Plus, his popularity has grown more with his show outside of with Up, Up, Down, Down, as opposed to with, the actual him being in the New Day.
And it's weird, like, when they're talking, the New Day have been a stable since 2014.
Yeah.
Like, almost as long as we've been doing this, the New Day has existed. Like, this is a big thing.
Yeah.
To split them and to, have him go off by himself, or that's a big deal.
Because, honestly, a lot of people think that should have happened.
But
like,
realistically, they're the most enduring faction.
Yeah, like years earlier, and then it didn't, so they just assumed it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, now they're like, nope, we're splitting them and stuff. So, I don't know. Tonight's going to be interesting because tonight's the first Raw from the draft. And that was another thing that was weird. They started
it on SmackDown, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's going to
SmackDown is decidedly the B show. Like, it always, no matter how much they fight to try to make them on an equal level, they consider it to be the B show, whether they say that or not.
Yeah. But, I mean, in that same sense, NXT is the C show.
Right.
And they're not even involved in the draft.
No.
So, again, that whole, like, it's a third brand. Well, no, it's not, because you're not moving anybody from NXT.
No, God, even when they had the ECW brand, they included that in the fucking draft.
Yeah.
Like, this is the perfect time to bring people up.
A year or couple ago, when they brought Finn up from NXT, they brought Finn and they brought Bailey and a couple other people from NXT up to thing. And the thing that's weird about that, too, is members of the whatever fucking, absolute Retribution are NXT people.
Yeah.
They're all NXT people.
Yeah.
So it's like, did you elevate them? They're now main roster people?
I guess, like...
but you're like, but they're not main roster because, NXT's the third
it's like,
brand.
It's so weird, because, like, their fourth wall shit is so fucking weird, because, like, with Retribution, they're like, they signed Retribution to contracts. They were already fucking under contract. They were already NXT guys. Mm-hmm. Fucking Dio Madden and Dijakovic and the other guys, they're all fucking NXT people.
And then the girls.
And the girls, too. Like, they're all fucking main people on NXT. Mercedes Martinez and the other, I can't remember the other girl. But
Kim.
Yeah. Fucking, they're already under contract.
Yeah, I was like...
but
it's weird because they're not referring to them as those characters, so now it's like they're...
But then they're out there on Twitter being like, I am this person or whatever, and like, now I'm this guy. Like, okay, cool. It's either you're completely different people, and you can't acknowledge it at all, or you have to fucking acknowledge it and go with it. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking weird. It's like, so weird. And like, a lot of the mainstay ones are like, not there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't even realize like how long it's been since like Charlotte, Becky, like any of them, and I'm like, oh shit! Like,
the state of the women's division currently is rough for me. Like, Bailey has been champion for like 500 days now, and
literally
fucking the women's tag champs are Shayna Baszler and fucking
Nia Jax.
I'm sorry, this is the worst team in history for me. Like,
I actually think this was the perfect bit because honestly, no. Here's the thing. Think about it from this perspective. They are one's too dangerous, and the other's just not. I don't know what their deal is with Shayna.
I don't know.
I don't know if she said something that pissed them the fuck off, or what the deal is, or she can't cut a promo they like, or something. But they basically took two characters that were too big to just like fuck off and shit,
right?
And they managed to put them together and stick them in a division that even really there's not a lot going on because they split up the Iconics. Most of the other women's tag teams, I'm like, who the fuck is there women's tag wise? There isn't any. Yeah. Like, so it's like they basically made them tag champs of a division that's dead.
Yeah,
and gave them the title, so they're title holders for something that doesn't fucking exist. So you basically neutered two fucking characters without actually having to like seem like you fucking crooked them.
What they are, both of them are the exact example of why people like that don't get over in that company, and it's because they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Because Naya is a big girl, and she doesn't fit that classic standard of, like, she's a beautiful woman, like, absolutely, but they don't understand how to push a girl who's not 130 pounds. And then with Shayna, it's like, she's also in that category, like, she's in that typical, you know, diva look. She's not drop dead gorgeous, she's not a supermodel and shit.
Problem, yeah, when you get down to it, Naya isn't the size that they want. She's big, but she's not big as like a powerhouse big. She's like big as in she's a thick girl and stuff like that. She can't move at the speeds because she just came back from ACL tears in her legs. So there's that. The other problem is not a lot of people want to work with her because she
fucking hurts people.
She hurts people bad.
Yeah.
Like possible career ending bad.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to deal with her. Problem is, whoever you stick Shayna Baszler against automatically gets destroyed because Shayna's too good of a fighter to believe that somebody else could beat her. But the thing is, Shayna can't cut a fucking promo to save her goddamn life.
No.
If you were doing interviews for fucking MMA, that'd be fine. But she can't cut a promo. Like, she would have been perfect to have her be the heel that goes against Ronda Rousey. But they didn't go down that route. Because
they missed a gold opportunity.
They did.
And it's not all their fault because, like, she just was done. She wanted to go off and do whatever,
the problem
have a
was,
kid or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
it
cool.
was. The problem was like that WrestleMania, she was the hero. She was the hero when she showed up. But for two reasons she became the heel. And I know she hates to hear it, but these are the two reasons. Is one, you were a celebrity before you came in.
Yep.
The fans hate celebrities.
Yep.
Like, if you try to be legit, they're going to heel turn you because the fans will always hate a celebrity person. The other thing is, and this really sucks because I understand, like, she was a fan and they gave the blessing and everything like that. You cannot take any part of Rowdy Piper's gimmick.
No.
Like, you could have if you were his daughter.
Right.
Like, if you were somebody that they truly believed, like, family-wise bequeathed the honor to, cool. But to just be like, oh, I'm Rowdy Ronda Rousey and shit like that, just because your name fits the thing and you kind of like have that badass look, that's another reason. Celebrity came in while stealing somebody else's gimmick, basically, to make theirs. The fan base was just destined to hate you.
Coupled with that,
and she didn't like being the heel. She got really pissed about that.
Coupled with that, the fact that, like, being a legitimate fighter, she falls into that trap a lot of legitimate fighters do when they come into wrestling, is they have no respect for the people that are doing the job. Like, she walked in the door with the attitude that I'm already better than everyone here. Whether that's the case or not. Like, as a fighter, you absolutely were. Yeah, you probably smoke all these chicks.
The other problem, though, is this is not fighting. Like, when I watch wrestling, I watch awesome choreographed, like, stuff. It looks good. It's still, like, all kinds of crazy shit. When I watch MMA, I'm waiting for one thing. MMA is like a NASCAR race. You're waiting for somebody to get the shit. You're waiting for somebody to get wrecked.
Yeah.
That's what you want. It's going to be sloppy. It's not going to be pretty, and it's going to come out of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
That's not what a wrestling match is.
No.
When you watch Ronda wrestle, it was sloppy. It was botched as fuck. Yeah. Like, at any moment, you were waiting for one thing. Somebody to get knocked the fuck out or get their arm broke. Like, that's what it was.
It's true. And the thing is, like, honestly, with the celebrity thing, like, the sad thing to say, the biggest positive of COVID with wrestling is Gronkowski didn't end up doing anything.
Oh, God.
Because that would have been the fucking most colossal failure in the history of man.
He's too big and too powerful to be that fucking just bad at it. Like, the greatest thing is the COVID, and then the fact that Tom Brady went to a different team, and then he followed him. And I was like, that's cool. Go back to football.
Well, yeah,
yes.
we'll play football.
Like, go do that and stuff, because, like, like...
I just feel bad for Mojo.
I don't. if you were basing your whole career on your buddy fucking Gronkowski coming to save your ass, you were a fucking idiot to begin with.
You just go back to the fucking 24/7 hell. Because I can tell you what, that is one thing that really blaringly stuck out of me watching Raw is like, growing up in the Attitude Era, like I loved the hardcore title. It was cool and fun, and the 24/7 rule was really fun, and like there was a lot of cool shit they did with that. They have pounded this shit into the ground so hard, and like it's basically just a fucking geek show.
Yeah,
it's R-Truth being wacky, which is fun.
Vince created a title specifically for R-Truth to be wacky R-Truth,
right,
because he finds it amusing.
Yeah, he's like tickled by him, and that this is what he gave him, basically. But you've got seriously talented guys that are just
running around
goofy, like idiots, after a useless title that literally means nothing. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about the biggest difference between the 24/7 belt and the hardcore belt. Mm-hmm. The hardcore belt, they had matches, real matches, and like it had a level of prestige attached to it. Like, yeah, it wasn't like the world title or anything, but it's like these are guys who rather beat the piss shit out of each other.
Falls counted anywhere, but you had to beat the shit out of the guy to get the belt. Like, it was a street match every time. The 24/7 is basically aggressive tag.
Yeah, no, like, it's like slap and tickle. It's like fucking, it's idiocy. Like, there's nothing, it's basically...
Like, I pinned him while he was asleep and took his time.
Right, and you've got, like, Akira Tozawa, guys like that, like, just being completely fucking wasted in this idiotic horseshit that is not going to get anyone over. Mm-hmm. Has anyone gotten over because of this belt, other than Truth, who was already there?
I don't even like.
And
the
you
thing
can really
is, none
see
of them hold it.
He's
long
not
enough.
even really over.
None of them hold it long enough to even really like. It's basically a Three Stooges gag. Mm-hmm. This is what this is. This has become a Charlie Chaplin Three Stooges gag that is just an ongoing running thing.
And it's like they took one thing from the hardcore, which was like they basically took one thing from the hardcore division time, which was the Crash Holly shit, and made this is all it is.
Yeah.
This is just Crash Holly being fucking chased through Magic Mountain by the fucking headbangers. That's all 24/7 is.
Yeah.
But you took away the only cool thing about the hardcore title, which was the fucking hardcore matches. Mm-hmm. You can't do that shit anymore because everybody's happy, friendly, fucking PG and shit. But, like, this belt does nothing for anyone. No. Like, they fucking... I swear to God they said that R-Truth has been champion 55 times. Mm-hmm. 50 fucking 5 times. This belt has existed for like a year or maybe 2. Mm-hmm. This belt, the belt that holds my pants up, is worth more than this fucking belt.
And that's the thing, is it's like a slap in the face to certain like championships, like reigns and stuff. Because like when it came to like championships, 16, it was Flair's, 16-time world champion and shit like that. Or like other people's like Booker T has been like fucking tag champion how many times? Mm-hmm. Like, and these things meant something because it was like they fought their asses off to get them and shit like that. To say R-Truth has been the 55-time 24/7 champion, that's like, that means maybe in fucking 30 days. Yeah, like, this means nothing.
No, none of it means anything. It holds no prestige whatsoever. Yeah. There's no point to it. It's just dumb filler.
Yeah.
Like, I think even the Raw Underground shit, as stupid as that is, it's
there was
like,
no title.
There's no title associated. It's like a commentary on like street fighting or whatever, like that sort of thing. And like it was a chance to get guys like Strowman and a couple of those other guys to go in there and just wreck people and like make them look more
Lashley
impressive.
Was in there just destroying people and stuff.
Like that just makes those guys look more like hard asses.
Yeah. All this does destroying people.
Yeah, all this does is just make people look like fucking 10-year-olds. Like R-Truth is a glorified 50-year-old fucking toddler running around with this stupid fugly belt,
which sucks because we know what the skill that he actually has.
Yeah,
like he couldn't do some amazing things in the wrestling ring, and it's like this is what he's become now. Like, of
all the shit that he's accomplished, the first, being NWA World Heavyweight Champion, being a main event guy against Cena in the time where that meant something, like. all the different shit, all the tag championship.
Yeah, that
I think
tag
he
match
did
when it was Cena and The Rock versus fucking
Truth and Miz. Yeah, like having that. Like, unfortunately, his legacy is going to be 55,000 time fucking 24/7 champion. That's what people are going to remember. Unfortunately,
in 5 years that belt will be gone. Less than that.
I hope to God it is.
Like, I mean, probably the memory of it will be gone in like less than 5 years because like there's no way this thing's going to survive.
Right, and what the fuck did you accomplish by having this? Literally nothing.
No, yeah.
Just another way to fill out 3 hours.
Yeah. Then you've got, what else? You got the weird shit going on with, like, The Fiend and Alexa Bliss, which I'll give it this. I'm at least glad that they did not go, or at least so far they have not gone down the road of her being Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
Like, she just seems to be more, like, enthralled with The Fiend, kind of like little brainwash type of thing. And I'm like, that's cool. It fit the story. It's like an angle, that they haven't gone down, like they had talked about like the Wyatt family, but in the beginning when they did it, it was all a bunch of guys. Well, now because the women's division is as strong as it is, it would be interesting to see a kind of like Wyatt family-esque thing, but having a female in the mix too, because now it's like you can kind of do that creepy shit with the girls' division too. Alexa plays pretty well into this.
Yeah.
She can do that. I would have thought Nikki Cross, but I think that's too obvious.
Too obvious, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But so like that's cool, but I don't know. Their storylines are really just they're all over the place.
The best thing you could do at this point as a wrestling fan is watch AEW instead,
or TNA.
Or, God, Impact is so much better. It makes so much more sense.
Like, if I'm going to be flipping back and forth between two wrestling things, it's going to be AEW and TNA. And, like, I would even watch Power before I would watch any of the other ones. Like, NXT has been good, but NXT has always been good because, like, those guys are hungry.
Exactly.
God knows fucking Finn Balor in this last NXT TakeOver broke his jaw in 2 places.
3 places.
3 places.
Yeah.
3 places, had blood coming out of his mouth, still finished the match to retain his title.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is awesome. That's great. This is the guy, because he got a concussion, they stripped him of the fucking undisputed, fucking title. It's just, it's sad because you see all these great wrestlers that aren't getting utilized and doing dumbass shit. And it makes you just fucking sick. But then you go watch things at like TNA, AEW, all that stuff, and it's like that's good stuff that's happening.
Yeah, like Impact, even with the place that they're at, like they don't have a huge audience, they don't have a lot of exposure, but they're really doing quality shit.
Oh yeah,
their women's division is
their women's
division is by far the strongest.
TNA has the strongest women's division. AEW by far has the strongest tag division.
Oh god, yeah.
None of them really, I will say, unfortunately, though, has the strongest men's division. Like, right now, the men's division is...
I would say that AEW is better than anything else.
It's better, but it's not even that strong because, like, right now, it's like, okay, well, Cody did come back, so, like, that's cool. It is strong, but it's not as strong as it could be. And the problem is because, like not enough baby faces.
Right. Well, like, their thing is, like, they have 2 strong singles titles. Mm-hmm. And, like, no one else has 2 strong singles titles. Mm-hmm. Like, Impact has 1 strong men's division. WWE has nothing, in my opinion.
I would say NXT has 2 strong because you've got the
North
NXT
American title,
and the North American. So, like, they're good, but yeah, like, that's it. You know?
But honestly, when it comes down to it with AEW, like, the TNT title is more interesting at this point than the world title is.
Yeah, I'll give it that. Because that's... Go figure this of all things. They actually managed to turn the Dark Order into a thing that actually became...
It's great.
Great. And, like, legit. And, like, holy shit. Because it was a fucking joke from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but then with the right guy signing on and being added to it, it gave it some motion.
Yeah, talk about like
Just-
value for money, man. Like signing Birdie Lee was like such a fucking brilliant stroke on their part. 'Cause, like this guy is a guy who's just been waiting for the shot.
Okay, but my only thing is get rid of fucking Colt Cabana because, like, I'm sorry, I'm not a Colt.
No,
Cabana.
you don't like Colt Cabana.
I'm not a Colt Cabana person. I'm not sold on what this fucker like does that he's so amazing. Like, he's got a 90s at best gimmick that needed to die off like a long time ago. Wrestling his wrestling style is generic at best. Like, this guy is literally like, I could buy his gimmick, his outfit, his whole personality at a fucking Dollar General section of wrestling. Like, I hate to be a dick about it. It's just one of those things where it's like, cool, you were the baby face, but man, you're like a generic baby face. You're like that like guy where it's like there's nothing to you.
Yeah,
and shit.
I get that. I do. I get it. Like he's like your Wesley Joss Whedon.
Yes,
Like-
it's like, you know, fucking craft singles. Like, I don't know how to fucking say it, dude. You're like American fucking craft singles here. You know, nothing exciting, but also nothing disappointing, I guess.
The smartest thing about AEW is they have the right mix
Yeah.
of veterans and hungry guys,
Yeah,
and they use them the right way.
yeah.
They know how to use these guys who have a name and prestige and all this to get over and make new stars.
That's true.
And that's the smartest thing that they're doing. But
It's what they tried to do on Impact a long time ago, but too many of the veteran guys got a little too,
yeah.
control happy there. Hogan and Bischoff. And
Since we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, I want to quickly talk about Alberto Del Rio, and then we can wrap it up.
yeah, this thing.
So this actually
Oh, my
happened back in
God.
May.
Yeah.
He got arrested because he basically beat the shit out of his girlfriend. He's been charged with kidnapping and assault and felony assault, and like several other, like it's like 6 or 7 different charges.
Yeah.
And now it is finally going to court, and he could potentially spend like 20 years in jail for this shit.
Yeah, because, like, the charges are pretty rough because it's, like, kidnapping, assault level stuff. Like, this is all shit
Yeah.
that people were, like, very worried about when he was dating Paige.
Yeah, from what I
Because,
understand,
like-
I guess he had a freak out because he accused his girlfriend, like, who apparently doesn't speak English, like, of, like, cheating on him. And he basically, like, it forced her, like, to be there. Like, he forcibly imprisoned her, essentially.
Yeah.
And, like, beat her severely.
Yeah.
And, like, shoved a fucking sock in her mouth and said he was going to kill her. Like, this is not, like domestic
held her
dispute.
hostage.
No, yeah, he literally held her
Hostage
hostage.
situation.
Like, this guy is been a ticking time bomb for a long-ass time now.
Like, a lot of issues.
And
Like,
he's
and the thing was,
really,
you got, like, a little glimpse of this with Paige and that whole incident they had and stuff like that. And from what I understand, the whole locker room in WWE about fucking killed this motherfucker. Like, they basically were like, he needs to go, or you will find his body
Right.
in the locker room. Because, like, I know the New Day boys love her to death. Like, I know she was friends with Roman and like,
yeah.
a bunch of other people, and just like also there's a lot of people that just don't play in that game.
No.
And there was a bunch of them because this same shit almost happened to fucking Cass when he fucking got a little too aggressive with Carmella. They almost beat that boy like with an inch of his life. And Alberto already had a reputation of being a huge fucking asshole backstage and being really shitty. And they already wanted any excuse to beat the fuck out of him. And
It's unfortunate with a guy the level of talent that he has that he's fallen into that stereotype of the prickish, like, full of himself, machismo Latin American guy.
yeah,
That, like, has no respect for women, no respect for anybody but himself. Like, and it's coming home to roost, man. Like, to be perfectly honest, I hope he goes to fucking prison.
oh yeah,
Because, in my estimation, he's a shit human being.
yeah, like
Who absolutely fucking deserves to pay for what he did. And, you know what? I'm sure he's still got fans out there and shit, and I will tell you, I am fucking not one of them.
yeah. But it was interesting because this is like one of those things where it's like depending on who the person is, you will see a very different reaction and stuff like that. Because, like, with that stuff happened, how quick did he get pulled off TV? Mm-hmm. Very quick.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, though, you see what's going on with Matt Riddle.
Yeah,
they have not taken him off TV.
Being sued for, rape and some other shit, too, like, by an accuser. Like, and like we say with all these, we don't know what happened. We weren't there.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, if what she says is true, good Lord, he absolutely fucking does not deserve to be in any spot right now.
No.
And everything I've ever heard about the guy has basically been that he's a dick and
he's a douchebag.
Total fucking.
Even his wife is a fucking douchebag.
His wife got on Twitter and fucking trashed like all the
Becky
women,
and
WWE,
stuff,
Becky
like
especially,
because of their bodies and stuff.
Called
like that.
them like fat and out of shape and shit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, who the
tone
fuck
it up
are you
and
talking
get it together
about?
and like. And she's some
And to the point where, like, Seth Rollins during the draft was, like, doing the live thing with it and shit, and they were interviewing him, he's like, I would absolutely never work with him under any circumstances. Fuck this guy. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't either.
There's a pretty long list.
There's a long list of people that won't fucking work with this guy.
Who will not work with Riddle. Like, this is why Riddle only keeps getting these, like, mid-card level, like, storylines and feuds and shit. It's because none of the big guys want to deal with him because...
No, they want so badly to do a program with him and Lesnar has flat out said there is no circumstance where I will work with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Zero. I don't care how much fucking money
because Riddle has
basically,
I don't know why, but in some fucking instance in his mind, he thinks that he can beat Lesnar in a fight.
He's insane.
He's... like, because he talks shit about Goldberg, and then, like,
Goldberg, that too, yeah.
Goldberg got fucking, like, insanely pissed, like, you can shut the fuck up, kid, like, I'll kill you. But then he kind of did the same thing to, like, Lesnar, and it's like, I'm sorry, dude, were you a title holder in fucking UFC? I don't recall, but, like, he was the fucking champion of the heavyweights. This motherfucker will kill you, like... Cool.
And not give a fuck.
Yeah, like, your scrawny little flip-flop ass will get the ham hocks to the face. Like, just...
That match would literally last about 10 fucking seconds.
Yeah, because the thing is, Lesnar has no problem going hard shot on you.
No.
Everybody saw that thing where fucking Strowman fucked up and kneed him in the head for real.
And he knocked the living piss shit out.
Knocked him out on live television.
Yeah.
Like, just knocked him the fuck out to where, like... till Strowman was like barely standing because he took the fucking full hit, and even Strowman admitted to it. He's like, I fucked up, and he about knocked me the fuck out for it. Like, and you think this Riddle guy isn't gonna? Because man, their match would literally be a match of escalation. Because Riddle would fuck up, do something, Lesnar would then fucking hit him for real.
Yeah, God knows you don't want to put these guys on live television.
Yeah, and then Riddle would go at him for real, and then it would literally just turn into a real live fucking MMA fight where I think at the end of it, Brock's just going to put him in a rear naked choke or ground and pound him till he's a bloody fucking mess.
Yeah, he's going to go fucking yellow bastard on him.
Yeah,
like,
and he'll be like, cool, you can find me later. I beat the fuck out of him.
I don't really care.
Like, I killed this
and the
kid
thing is,
ring.
Lesnar is in a place where, like, what can you really do to him?
Yeah.
Like, what fucking punch? Oh, you're not going to be on the show anymore. You already fucking paid him millions of dollars. You don't fucking care.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck about being there anyway.
Yeah.
My God, like,
he's gonna be like, I defended myself. He was actually trying to fucking fight me, so like,
it would be literally insane to put them in the ring together because you would literally have a severe fucking bloody beating on live television.
Oh yeah, put it in the fucking Hell in a Cell or fucking, the Elimination Chamber and just watch one of them die. Mm-hmm. Because like Brock will literally just beat that kid against a fucking goalpost till he's dead.
I've seen what Brock can do to guys in actual fights, and I've seen the level of fucking power that's behind his shots. Riddle is literally half his size.
Yeah.
Like, on
he's
a good
faster.
day.
Granted, yeah, sure, he's faster, and if you can fucking hit the sweet spot, like Chun-Li's got a sweet gut and stuff like that, so if you can pop Lesnar in the fucking gut and shit, but when he's angry, he's so much faster and so much more aggressive, he will be on you, and there ain't no way you're slipping out of his fucking hold, dude. He is gonna just crush you.
Yep.
Like, he's gonna suplex you into a steel post.
Yep.
Like, make sure your head is the first thing that hits, and then he's just gonna pummel fuck the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It would be a bad, bad day.
It would.
I mean, I would laugh as
There
it
is
happens.
a small part of me.
Yeah,
that
I
would
know.
love to
There's
see
like,
it.
oh God, like, are they dumb enough? Are they that
Are they
dumb?
dumb? Are they dumb enough? Vince might be that stupid. And the thing is, if you could talk Brock into it, literally the only reason he would do it is to go out there and kill the guy.
If they were like, hey, we need you to basically end him on television, Brock would do it.
Oh God, yeah.
Brock would be like, I can do this. You're giving me full permission. I can go basically fucking ham on this motherfucker. Cool. All right, let's do it. And then it would just be...
Then it would just be a sanctioned, televised beating.
Like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
shit. It would be something so bad, I think it would make Dana White cringe.
Yeah. No.
Like, it would be bad.
But yeah, I mean, we've hit we're hitting the 2-hour mark. So
All right, well, it's the
should
birthday show.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So, if by any weird stretch of the imagination you like what you heard tonight on the Basement Fodder Podcast, you can, of course, find us at our network home of digitalnerdage.com. You can find us on our newly updated website, thebasementofdoom.wordpress.com. You can find us. I did update Spreaker finally, so...
Oh, my God.
Yes, it only took me like an hour. You can find us on Spreaker. You can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're completely up to date on Spotify. All those places. You can find us on our social media, Instagram and Twitter at Basement Fodder. And then I'm Todd Dave on Facebook, and Dave is Dave Basement of Doom. You can also find the Todd Files, and Ariel is Ariel Beach.
Yep.
So we're all over the fucking place. You can find us any of those places. We'll still be doing this, making shows forever. So fuck it.
Yep, pretty much.
Keep doing this until I don't have a voice left.
Yeah!
But that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Happy birthday to you, my friend.
Happy birthday to you.
And happy almost anniversary to the show. And
Snippity snip snaps.
and fuck it all, right?
Yep.
We'll keep going. But until next time,
Yep.
the basement door is closed.
Later, bitches.